Haemophilia is a blood disorder whereby blood is unable to clot. Haemophilia is a blood disorder whereby blood is unable to clot. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for coming. Remember to subscribe and give a like to this video you are watching. Okay, so in Biology paper 2 2010, we are going to revise question 5. Okay, so this statement reads, Figure 5.1 shows the inheritance of hemophilia in a family. Figure 5.1 shows the inheritance of hemophilia in a family. Okay, so we've got this family. Let us try to study it. Okay, so 1 and 2, these are parents. Okay, so the parents produced the offspring 3, 4, 5, 6, and offspring 7. Okay, so it is also important to study the key we've been given. Okay, so the key is showing a square which is shaded is describing a male who is hemophilic. Male hemophilic. A circle which is shaded is describing a female who is hemophilic. A square which is blank is showing a normal male, and a circle which is blank is symbolizing a normal female. Okay, so these are parents, parent 1 and parent 2, they were crossed, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they were offsprings. Okay, so the first question reads, taking the allele for hemophilia to be X to the power small letter h, what is the genotype of offspring 3 and 7? Taking the allele for hemophilia to be X to the power small letter h, what is the genotype of offspring 3 and 7? Okay, so offspring 3, as you can see, offspring 3, it is a circle which is shaded. So a circle which is shaded, when we look at the key, is showing a female who is hemophilic. Okay, so now what is the genotype for offspring 3? Okay, so the genotype for offspring 3 is just X to the power small letter h, another X to the power small letter h. Okay, so this will show that offspring 3 is hemophilic. Okay, offspring 7, let us also write the genotype for offspring 7. Okay, so offspring 7 is a square which is blank. So a square which is blank is showing a normal male. Okay, so how are we going to write the normal male? So a normal male is going to be written as X to the power capital letter H and the Y chromosome. Okay, so to these sex-linked or inherited diseases, we put nothing to this Y chromosome. Okay, so this is our offspring, our genotype for offspring 7. Okay, question B. Offspring 4 married a person with similar genotype to offspring 7. Offspring 4 married a person with similar genotype to offspring 7. Okay, so before we answer this question, I would love us to also note, or to have a look at this table I have. Okay, so it is very important to note that the ability or inability of blood to clot comes from the time of clotting factor present. Okay, so we as human beings, we've got different clotting factors. Okay, so this table is showing the genotype, the clotting factor, and the phenotype. Okay, so the genotype, which is X to the power capital letter H, X to the power capital letter H, shows a normal clotting factor. And describing the phenotype, under phenotype, that person is normal. That's a normal female. X to the power capital letter H, X to the small letter h is normal clotting factor. Okay, it also defines that person has a normal clotting factor. And under phenotype, that person can be described as normal female or carrier. Okay, so carriers are also normal. They are normal. It is just that they carry a certain disease in them. Okay, the genotype X to the small letter h, X to the small letter h, is described under the clotting factor as defective clotting factor. Okay, so defective clotting factor meaning this person is hemophilic. So it's a hemophilic female under phenotype. The genotype X to the power capital letter H and Y, under clotting factor, it is defined as the normal clotting factor. And under phenotype, this is a normal male. Okay, X to the power small letter h and the Y chromosome, under clotting factor is described as a defective clotting factor. Okay, and this person under phenotype is hemophilic male. Okay, so we are going to use some information from this table to answer this question. Okay, so the question is, offspring 4 married a person with similar genotype to offspring 7. Offspring 4 married a person with similar genotype to offspring 7. Let us have a look at offspring 4. So offspring 4 is a circle which is blank, and the circle which is blank is a normal female. Okay, so offspring 7 is a square which is blank. A square which is blank is describing a normal male. Okay, so let us first of all determine the genotype we are going to use to cross this diagram. Okay, so the first question is saying, draw a genetic diagram to show the genotypes and the phenotypes of the offspring. Okay, so let us first of all determine the genotypes we are going to use for us to make a correct crossing. Okay, so for offspring 4, who is a female, okay, we are going to use the X. We're going to use X to the power capital letter H, another X to the power capital small letter h rather. Okay, so this will be our genotype for the female parent. Okay, for the male parent, okay, a male parent which is offspring 7. Offspring 7, what is the genotype? Okay, so the genotype we are going to use for offspring 7 is X to the power capital letter H and the Y chromosome. Okay, so these are the genotypes we are going to use for us to make a correct crossing. Okay, so let us have a look at this crossing that I did. Okay, so you first will begin by writing a skeleton of a cross diagram. Okay, so you begin by writing the parental phenotype. Okay, you describe how the parents, okay, the appearance of the parents. Okay, after writing the parental phenotype, you can proceed to writing the parental genotype. Okay, so under genotype, you describe using symbols. Okay, so genotype is the symbolic statement of the genes contained in an organism. Okay, so under parental genotype, you use symbols. Next, you write the gametes. Gametes are sex cells. Okay, so you write gametes. Okay, you leave a space. You write a random fertilization to show that fertilization occurs randomly. Okay, you also skip a line, or you leave a space and write F1 generation genotype. F1 generation genotype. Okay, so these are offsprings here. We've reached to the offsprings. Okay, you also write F1 generation phenotype. You now describe how the offsprings are looking like. Okay, so under parental phenotype, we're going to put on parental phenotype, we're going to put to describe it as normal female. Okay, normal female. So to show that this female was normal for this disease. Okay, so normal female crossed with normal male. Okay, so both of the parents were normal. Okay, on parental genotype, we write the genotypes for these parents. Okay, so it's X to the power capital letter H, another X to the power small letter H. Okay, for the normal male, we write also the X to the power capital letter H and the Y chromosome. Okay, on the gametes, you just separate these genotypes or these alleles using a pen. So you put them in circles like I have done here. Okay, so you do the crossing. You cross the first allele to the first allele to the normal male there, and the first allele to the normal female must be crossed again with the second allele to the normal male. Okay, then you also pick the results you have obtained. Okay, so these are the results we've obtained. Now we describe them on F1 generation phenotype. Okay, so we've got the normal female, the normal male, carrier female, and hemophilic male. Okay, so now let us answer these questions. Okay, so the question I have is saying, what is the probability of them having a normal child? What is the probability of them having a normal child? Okay, so probability is also expressed in form of a fraction. Okay, so having a normal child. Okay, so even a carrier is also normal. Okay, so the probability of having a normal child is 3/4. Okay, or if you want, you can also express a probability as a percentage. Okay, so 3/4 is the same as 75%. Okay, the next question, what is the probability of them having a child who is a carrier? What is the probability of them having a child who is a carrier? Okay, so as you can see on the diagram, a carrier is only one. Okay, so we only have carrier female. Okay, so the probability is just 1/4 or 25%. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe and give a like.